I believe I was assigned. All right, so we are the consumer and housing. We are the consumer protection project, one arm of the consumer and housing department here at MVLS. Um, the team is Asia Mallory, who's our senior consumer staff attorney, Cortland Miracle, housing and consumer staff attorney, and myself, Ian Williams, the consumer protection paralegal. How do we help MVLS clients? The Consumer Protection Project, we handle tax sale cases for various types of foreclosures, ground rent, bankruptcy, including bankruptcy bypass for those who have a protected form of income, and debt collections and contract disputes. Some of these we handle in the Tuesday morning clinics at the district courthouse. Others we handle in-house, not in the clinic. The Consumer Protection Clinic occurs every Tuesday morning at the Baltimore City District Courthouse downtown at Gay and Fayette. It began in the fall of 2014, and it's the AJ docket, and the let's see. We started offering free legal advice and brief advice sessions to consumers facing debt collection cases, and the consumers will meet with one or two staff attorneys depending on the day, and for about a 10 to 15-minute session. Sometimes they go a little over, so that they can get brief advice on their collection suit. The volunteers provide assistance with the credit card cases, auto loans, auto repos, landlord-tenant matters, contract cases. And we also provide information on the court processes, settlement options, and what to expect on the back end of their cases. And then we also handle the bankruptcy bypass program. And bankruptcy is a really big, scary word for a lot of people. And it's not always the best option for everyone. There are folks who are on a protected form of income. They're known as collection proof. And it's typically those on disability, SSI. There are various pensions that might be included in protected forms of income. So essentially, these folks would come in, and them being collection proof means that their assets or income cannot be garnished by the debt collectors. And what we do is we send out a hardship letter that essentially lays out, you are suing this individual, and this individual has been deemed collection proof. They're on a protected form of income, government income. Therefore, you cannot legally collect from them, their income, or their assets. And anything left over goes to housing, medical expenses. So it would behoove you to drop the matter. And so it doesn't necessarily dismiss the debt overall. It still exists, but it essentially stops all collection efforts. And so we see a lot of clients experience a lot of relief from the bankruptcy bypass program. And I'm going to hand it off to
Me.
one of my colleagues.
Yes, and I'll just let you know in the change slides. Next thing that we do in the housing consumer is foreclosure prevention project. We provide full representation to income eligible homeowners. We handle mortgage foreclosures and tax sale foreclosure cases. You can see us, we get pretty busy around the early parts of the year with tax sale, and that's one of our busiest times, and we see a lot of different clients. We also go to a lot of different tax sale clinics during that time to try to provide help to people at the clinics and hopefully get some people in full rep. The next slide is about our legal and legislative advocacy. And we do a lot here. Our consumer issues that we work on for like a legislative advocacy is medical debt, student loans, bail bonds, credit cards, bank fees, landlord tenant collection suits. We also do a lot of work when it comes to tax sale issues such as property assessments, misclassification of properties, wholesale tax sale. Um, um, we also do a lot of work with foreclosure issues such as right to counsel, streamlining mediation, zombie mortgages. These are all types of things that we do. We really try to reach out to legislators in the field, try to educate them about these issues, as well as when legislative season comes around, we do spend a lot of our time writing and trying to get to push these issues. Another thing that we do is water affordability issues. And we do a lot of work when it comes to auto enrollment and water bills, payment plans, and trying to fight against regionalization of water authorities. Lastly, when it comes to our accomplishments and endeavors, there's and the last slide would be in 2024 we saved over $150,000 for clients in collections. When it comes to our accomplishments in legislation, then we prevented House Bill 243, which seek to include tax bills in trying in getting people to have their houses and their homes be part of tax sale. They would basically that means is that your house they were trying to get the tax sale bill that I'm sorry, they're trying to get your water bill to be used to have your house be put into tax sale. And considering the multiple issues with DPW and their process, that's a bad idea. But so with working with everybody in MVLS as well as our partners, we were able to prevent that from happening. We ended debtor prisons. Um, um, we ended debtor prisons. I see that, Jen. Requiring hospital. We also another legislative accomplishment is requiring hospitals to pay patients. To pay patients back. We strengthened bank garnishment protections and prevented regionalization of water governance. That was one of the things that I worked on last year. That was a major win, and hopefully it'll be another major one this year. Lastly, we have a lot of media appearances. Asia was just on TV a few weeks ago, and we've been on interviews on the radio, podcasts, and we do a lot of op-eds around here. We're also the best dressed, which is required because we have to go into court every Tuesday. So that's what we do.
We also have our lead, our senior staff attorney, Asia, who was unintentionally not included as a speaker here. I think I took over her first two slides potentially. My bad, Asia. Um, if you have any questions, I feel like now would probably be a good time to ask.
There was a question that came through in a document Susan put together for people to submit their questions about these programs, and it is, can we help with applying for tax credits even if there is no active foreclosure or tax sale? And if yes, what legal problem code do we use for that?
That's a good question.
So this is just helping them to apply to the homeowner's tax credit. Is that?
I think that's the question, Asia. Do we help with that even if the person doesn't have a foreclosure or a tax sale?
We do help with that. We do help them apply to the homeowner's tax credit. The coding would still be under our tax sale foreclosure code. We would just do document preparation as like our closing outcome.
And the way that I would think about that is like we're proactively helping someone ensure that they avoid actually being, put at risk of foreclosure or tax sale.
Yeah, I was just going to add that, and I could barely hear what you just said, Susan. But I think you said like this is like a prevention measure that we're taking to prevent people from going into tax sale. So water bills, another one that's listed under there that we can help with if people call us with that, even if they aren't actively in tax sale. I think that's the part where we kind of aren't always sure on intake because sometimes we have periods where we have like a good pool of attorneys that are available to take those, and then other times, not so much. So we try to prioritize the people who are actively in tax sale, or at least we used to. But it sounds like now we can start also accepting cases where people haven't received a notice yet, and they just want to make sure that they don't end up on the list.
Yeah, we really want to focus on like the tax sale prevention, especially in the other counties. So we take tax sale clients from all over the state, with exception of some of the counties where we have to send them to their local legal services agency first before they can come to us. But if it's just something like they need assistance doing the credits, yeah, you can just push them forward.
Okay, that's good to know. Thank you.
All right. So Cheryl has asked, what is a zombie mortgage? So a zombie mortgage is a zombie second mortgage. So essentially, say in the 80s, you bought your house in the 80s. Congratulations. And then it's been like 20 years or so, you're paying on that mortgage, and then like in 2000, you decided you need to take out a loan for something else. I don't know, it's a home loan. You need a source of money from somewhere. So you take out a second loan uh, for a smaller amount on the collateral is your house. So this second loan you take out, you utilize the money for whatever you're doing with it, and then you go about your business, and you still are paying the first mortgage company your mortgage payments. Well, congratulations, after your 30 years mortgage, you are now mortgage free. The first mortgage company has told you you owe your home free and clear of any debt or encumbrances, so you are good to. Well, keep fast forwarding 15 years, we are in 2024, and you get a notice from ABC foreclosure company saying that you have not been paying this mortgage since you took it out in 2000. And we are going to foreclose on your home if you do not pay us $30,000 by August 31st. So that is a zombie mortgage. It's essentially a mortgage that's been on your home in which the mortgage company did not do the appropriate paperwork to notify you that there was a mortgage on your house. You weren't paying the mortgage, so there's now this second zombie mortgage that came out of nowhere that is now encumbrance to your home. And so you are now in you're kind of in a sticky situation because they are now starting foreclosure proceedings on a home and which you thought was free and clear of all encumbrances. I hope that was like very easy to understand.
Horrible, but understood.
Okay. I was like, was my explanation horrible or just
No, no. The fact that it exists is horrible.
Also, just wanted to highlight for those who aren't familiar with the term, tax sale is it kind of a form of foreclosure where um, somebody purchases the rights to your home because you owe X amount of property taxes. And it gets a lot more complicated than that, but it's essentially a foreclosure due to your property taxes is the most common form of tax sale. Other things can get wrapped into it as well. It's really complex, but that's probably the easiest answer we can give on tax sale.
Kim has a question in the chat also.
so are these zombie mortgages recorded publicly? Majority of the time, no. Uh, the zombie mortgage is not recorded in land records. So the ABC servicer is coming with all of the documents from when you signed this mortgage back in 2000, and you have no documents whatsoever that tells you what this mortgage is or what it was for. And most times, a lot of people still don't have the documents, or they don't remember where this loan was from, or they don't remember where they used the money for. So, to answer your question, the answer is no. The majority of them are not recorded.
Oops.
Are there any more questions? So thank you for coming to the Housing and Consumer Department's TED Talk. Ian, you can keep sharing your screen, and we're good to go.
Thank you to the Housing and Consumer